Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy Prefixes video. And while this may be a summary of the JP livestream, there's actually going to be a lot to go over because they combined the next event livestream with New Year's, so there's going to be actually a lot to go through, so let's get into it. So, a lot of that anniversary story will be available permanently, it looks like, so you'll be able to use those keys that you've been getting to unlock the story to do it again if you'd like to do that, I believe. And also this story as well, the anniversary of last year's story, I believe, is going to be unlocked as well as in terms of that. So there's that in case you missed it, in case you missed some of the rewards in there. And this is going to be the exploration that they do every year, and you have a limited time to do it. So hopefully you guys are able to do that. Although it looks like they're being a little... Actually, no, like you should see up there, yeah. They're being a little restrictive about it, but it's the same day, but you do have several hours to do it. I remember back in the day they used to do stuff like this, and if you weren't there like within like an hour, it was gone. So at least they're being a little more lenient about that. And we have SQUALL, and spoiler, he is not SLB. Sadly, the other one is SLB Quistis. I guess it's fair. I mean, she does have a uniform, I believe, at some point she wears, or something. I think so. At least in the cuts, there's a cutscene, I think, where she wears it, right? But sadly, she's SLB. But at the other hand, there's another positive that Selfie is getting New Vision Awakening, and she's also getting some upgrades with that. So it's very interesting. So here's SQUALL. Of course, the only way they could go about this, because he's only worn one thing, and then the seed uniform. So there are two things that you could be doing in this. So of course a brave shift form works. No longer do we have to be stuck with an SLB SQUALL, who was pretty decent for the time. Obviously has fallen off a lot since then. So we finally have him, and he's going to be very meta because he's a leader. He has a leader skill, so that already makes him meta. And so unfortunately his S-Teamer is a weapon instead of a clothes, because they could have just made him have his jacket or something as his S-Teamer. Sadly, he's stuck to an S-Teamer that only has 237 attack, when we all know, you guys on Global know now, the Dark Vision weapons that are two-handed are much better than usually S-Teamer weapons at this point. Even if they get 500 flat attack, they don't translate to TDH at all. So guaranteed, a weapon that has, you know, 400 attack, a 400 attack greatsword that's two-handed will probably be a lot better at him than his own S-Teamer, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. And like you see there, Final Fantasy 8 or light units will get 500 attack percentage, and also magic, and also 200% defense and spirit. Pretty good. Finally, the light leader is here. So his LB and SLB are 24 hit chains. Or actually, his LB is 5 hit chain. Sorry, but it does have a great sword in peril of 40%. He also has, you know, the normal kind of chaining and things like that he's got. And what is that down there? Do we see it? Do we see the meme? Is the meme finally going to come true, guys? Is SQUALL finally going to get the win in peril he's been looking for? If you're an OG of the JP side, you know all about the win and view meme. So I think you might actually get it this time, guys. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And like I've been mentioning, this is going to be the standard going forward in terms of vision cards. That's why I kind of criticized a little bit on the stats on the cards on Global that are coming out. They're only having 130 stats, which is decent. But as you can see here, this card has 170 baseline, which is the baseline nowadays. So this is definitely the card to get for light units. So COG could also use this. Here we have Quistis SLB. Sadly, her TMR is kind of whatever, and the S-Teamer is fine for her. It gives her some evoke stats and stuff like that, I believe, and 500 flat magic. And she's kind of strange. She's 27 hits though, which is not too bad, but I believe she's a little strange for she has evoke stuff. Like, why? I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but because of Diabolos, but whatever. I mean, I guess it's alright, right? She does have some things in there, and so here's her own card. I mean, it's pretty standard, right? It's pretty standard vision. It's pretty standard vision card. It's obviously referencing basically the first level of the game. Pretty legendary. So And then Selfie is getting an Evolution Awakening, which is very exciting because her usefulness as a 5-star is even very useful because of her Entrust that she can use while being on a dual cast. Because usually when you're using Entrust, you can't use it with anything else, but she can. So we'll have to see how that goes. Her TMR is getting upgraded to give her 1000 flat magic, and her STMR is giving 100% magic true to wheel, which will be useful. She's getting a lot of other things in here, as you can see. She's getting some breaks and things like that, it looks like. So we'll have to see how this all goes. And it looks like her LB or SL or not, maybe she's, I don't know, I think she's an SLB, but it looks like her SLB is getting a 27 hit chain there, which is not too bad, right? So we'll have to see how that goes. And okay, so it's gonna be kind of hard, guys. So there's a Vision World and there's a King Mug event, in quotation marks, King Mug, you guys know how that goes. So here is the Final Fantasy VIII Vision World. There'll be a lot of things in here, including Lapis and things like that. You guys know how Vision World works at this point. You grind up a whole bunch of things in here, and this time you're grinding up upgrades for previous equipment. You guys know what that code is, because you guys use this code a lot on Global, right? For Sylvie. So you guys already know what this code is. Hopefully the upgrades are good. Everything else here just looks okay, like the 72 magic item in the middle there looks promising. And the first one there is decent, a 50% LB damage, but we don't really care too much about, I mean, LB damage on Global is pretty easy to acquire at this point, so it's kind of whatever. And the rest of the stuff is just okay. Look, I mean, not everything in Vision World is the best, it's just okay. And now, you also got a King Mog. And it's a typical King Mog. You could, I think this means that you could potentially get the GF extension again. I know a lot of you guys are, hitting your head on the table. You missed the GF extension. I think you can get it again now, so hopefully that will be the case. And the usual tickets that may get you something, but I've never gotten an evasion from these at all, ever. So yeah. Exploration for Squall is closed. 66 attack, and I'll give him 500 flat attack. We'll have to see if that's actually worth it. Probably not, but we'll have to see. We'll see if this is more worth it than Cloud's STMR. The new Cloud, of course, for the TDH. We'll have to see how that goes. And Laguna is getting crowns. I know I'm going very fast because there's a lot to cover, guys. I don't want to make this a long video. Laguna is getting crowns, so let's go on ahead. And just like a lot of other units that are SLB, he's getting his grandest ability upgraded to have 89% defensive spirit break. Still can't get the 90. Still can't get a 90% defense break. So maybe someday they'll finally relent and give us that. He has 150% water and peril in the SLB. So if you get him to EX3, I guess it's okay. A decent option, because remember Lulu has 89% spirit break, where her defense break is a little bit lower. So you could kind of compromise with Laguna instead. Here's an exploration, I believe. You also get a Mystery Crystal and things like that, so it's pretty good. Lapis as well. And while this probably isn't going to be a big, ground-shaking move, the old Queesis is getting stuff again. I don't really understand why. And Rinoa is getting crowns, but we don't know what those are yet. It's the same thing when they teased Sephiroth's crown. When they teased Sephiroth's crowns a long time ago, it's the same thing here. We don't know anything about it until it comes. But she's getting crowns. And this trial is finally coming. This reverse 12-man trial, even though it's not real technically a 10-man trial. 12 weapons. You can more or less call them 12 weapons trials instead of 10-man trials at this point, because you're not actually doing the 10-man mechanic, sadly. At least as of this video. Maybe they'll change it. I don't know. 10 pulls is 10 pulls. And they're doing the daily, thing that we talked about, or not. This is separate from that exploration that we talked about at the beginning. So you can get these New Year tickets, and if you get a whole, you can open the box. There'll be a raid box you can open with these tickets and get some stuff in that. So there's that. Here's a bundle. JP side doesn't do bundles all that often, and most times they're really not that good. And gonna be honest, this one is also not looking that good. UOCs at this point on the debut side are very bland and mediocre, not very useful. Even if they removed the Summon Fest restriction on summoning for using these gray tickets on Summon Fest units, Summon Fest is no longer a thing in terms of 5 stars. But even then, it's not worth it because the rest teamers are kind of outdated, even so at this point. And so this bundle is really not worth it unless this one is like, I don't know, like 100 Lapras or something really small. Or if you can get this for free while grinding things in game. We'll have to see how that goes. And you'll be able to get some login, or not login, I think these are earned. Either they're earned or they're login, I'm not sure. And it'll be, here's the box. Here's the box you can those tickets on, so that's cool. And you'll be able to get 2, instead of getting 1 shard per unit, you'll get 2 shards per unit. I wish it was ×4 or ×8 at this point for these special events, but it is what it is. And that's it, guys. So I think I wrapped this up pretty quickly. I was very fast, sorry about that. But remember, this is a summary and I'm not going super in depth. So make sure to tune in my video. I'll be coming very soon to review Squall and Quistis and Selfie's Neo Vision Awakening. And in the future, or if we just know about this from the data mine, I doubt that we'll be getting that information from Rinoa. Hopefully her crowns will be very useful. Looking forward to seeing what those will be like. Anyways, guys, thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate ya. And yeah, make sure you tune in for Squall. Neo Vision Squall. Peace.